everyone, Mistress Sweet Pea here. Thank you for tuning in to another one of my podcasts today. I hope you're all doing well wherever you are on this lovely planet of ours. I hope everyone is doing well, enjoying your summer. We're currently, Dr. Twilight and I are currently in Kansas City, Missouri, and it's hot. It's very hot here, I have to admit. So I hope everyone's well, and thank you for tuning in today. We are going to discuss today another tech topic. This one I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with. This is something that actually Dr. Twilight discovered this one and we kind of went through it together. So this one is a very interesting topic. Have you ever heard of million short? Million like a million, and short, S-H-O-R-T. Million Short is a search engine that deletes the internet on purpose. And we are going to divulge into this concept right now. So I'm glad everyone is tuning in. So we're going to talk about Million Short and its signature feature. It's basically lets you remove the top 1 million most popular websites from your search engine. And yes, you heard me correctly. I will repeat it. Million Short is a search engine that will allow you to remove the top 1 million most popular websites from your search engine. So imagine if you're Googling something. Let's say, for example, let's say you're Googling anything. And then, I don't know, any specific topic. Let's say you're Googling there's so many things to Google. Let's say you're Googling a product. Let's say a widget. Like they use in business class. You're Googling a widget. So, and then saying, okay, now hide the Wikipedia, Amazon, Reddit, YouTube, CNN, WebMD, and all the big blogs and all SEO optimized giants, and show me what's left. Million Short is built on that idea. It is a search engine that deletes the internet on purpose. And yes, you heard me correctly. So Million Short is built on that idea. Again, it's a search engine that's designed not to show you what's popular, but what's hidden. That's the key word, what's hidden. This concept, this Million Short search engine, was created by Exponential Labs, which is a Toronto-based startup company. Million Short was launched back in 2012 as an experiment in digital discovery. And over the years, it became a cult favorite among researchers, journalists, students, and even people who are just curious about what's on the web. Today, we're going to dive deep into the origin story, its philosophy, how it compares to mainstream search engines, and why its approach matters more than ever. So on that note, we'll go ahead and get started about how the story started for this company. So Million Short was born out of sheer frustration of how predictable search engines results became. So back in the late 2000s and early 2010s, Google's dominance was absolutely up there on top. Its ranking algorithms were incredibly powerful, but they also created a kind of the sameness. So no matter what you search for, you often saw the same results. So I don't know if you guys ever tried it, or even paid attention when you did it. Like, let's say you're Googling, I don't know, anything. Let's say you're Googling a product. Let's use that as an example. And you get your Google search results, and it's like, okay. And then you go scroll to the next page, and it's like the same results again. You scroll to the next page, and it's like, okay, I just saw this on page 1 and 2. Why are you showing me the same thing on page 3? Million Short, if you do that, you just tell them, okay, now hide Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is one. I don't know about you guys. I see that on almost every page. It's like, okay, I don't want to see that. I already saw it on page 1. I don't need to see Wikipedia with the same content on page 2, 3, 4, 5. So you tell it, okay, remove Wikipedia, Amazon, Reddit. I'm just making these up as an example. Amazon, Reddit, YouTube, CNN, whatever. And then it'll take out all that stuff and just show you the stuff that's hidden, the stuff that these search engines don't show you. So again, bookmark Million Short. It's definitely something you should have as bookmark and saved. So again, going back to what I was saying, no matter what you researched, you often saw the same results. So again, what it does is, and it wasn't a conspiracy. So when you see in the same results on page 1, 2, 3, and 4, wasn't a conspiracy. It was simply how ranking algorithms worked. Popular sites with strong backlinks and high engagement, high traffic, were at the top of your Google search results. The other stuff, like the stuff that wasn't so popular, was like towards the end. So Exponential Labs saw this problem and asked the question: what if we intentionally remove the most popular websites and show what's hidden? Game changer. And that idea became known as Million Short. So when it launched back on April 30th, 2012, it immediately caught attention. Tech journalists called it a search engine for the forgotten web. Reddit users praised it. Academics loved it because they were able to do full in-depth research, and not just on the typical stuff you used to find. Like, they found information that was hidden on the web. So Million Short, again, they weren't trying to compete with Google. It was trying to reveal the parts of the internet Google couldn't or wouldn't use. So when you do a web search on Google, whether you're doing it right now, listening to this podcast or what, just do a Google search for something that's of interest to you. And look at page 2, look at page 3, look at page 4. It says Wikipedia, or whatever. That's the problem that was frustrating, and that's the problem that Exponential Labs came up with. What if we remove these popular websites and let people see what's really hidden? And again, we're not saying that Google did it on purpose. We don't know. I don't even know. But Google's going to show you what's popular. What about if you want to see what's not popular? What's hidden underneath the service? And that's where Million Short comes in. So what makes Million Short unique? It's a discovery engine. It's not a search engine. It's not like your typical search engine. It's discovery. Million Short's creators emphasized it's not meant to replace Google. It's not meant to be a search engine. It's meant to help you discover things. Think of it like exploring the attic of the internet. Dusty, forgotten, but yet still fascinated in what you find. Where Google optimizes for relevance and authority, Million Short optimizes for novelty and obscurity. So the significant features is that it removes popular websites so you can see what's hidden. Because a lot of those times, those little popular, those websites that are hidden are usually the ones that have the best research. So users can choose to remove the top 1,000 sites, the top 10,000 sites, the top 100,000 sites, or even the top million sites. This is based on popularity rankings from external sources like Alexa or any other traffic measurement tool. Once removed, the search engines shift dramatically. Suddenly, you're going to start seeing like personal blogs, academic papers, niche forums, independent creators, regional businesses, like even forgotten web pages from the early 2000s. How fascinating is that? It's like turning off the spotlight and letting your eyes adjust to the darkness kind of thing. You start noticing things that you've never seen before. Also, it's ad-free and privacy-focused, which is a game changer because Million Short doesn't track users. It doesn't build profiles. It doesn't even run ads, which makes it more appealing to private conscious users like myself who want exploration without surveillance. And that is a huge difference, especially in this day and age. It's also useful for research and journalism. So researchers studying like topics like folklore or local history often find Google too repetitive because they just basically, again, they put the most popular websites up there. And it's the same redundancy over and over. And people like that, but sometimes you want something different. So that's where that comes in. Million Short helps them access the long tail end of the web, where small voices live, I guess is the good way to say it. Journalists also use it as sources for outside of its mainstream arena. Students use it to find alternate perspectives when they write papers. Creators use it to discover inspiration beyond the algorithm bubble. So it's definitely something to consider. And also, million, just on a flip side of that, Exponential Labs also created Million Tall, which only shows results from the top million sites. It's the mirror image of Million Short, designed to highlight rows of repetitive mainstream search results. But together, the two large engines demonstrate how popularity shapes our perception of the web. So, how Million Short compares to other search engines? Well, we're going to compare it to Google. Google's built on PageRank, backlinks, user behavior, machine learning, and huge amounts of massive data collection. Its goal is to show you the most relevant information from the most trustworthy websites and the most popular websites. Million Short flips that philosophy. So where Google says, hey, here's what we find that's most useful, Million Short will say, here's what almost no one has seen yet, and they'll display it for you. Google is about consensus. Million Short is about exploration, finding stuff that's been forgotten on the web. Same thing with Bing. Bing is also similar in terms of ranking compared to Google, but it also prioritizes high traffic sites, strong SEOs, which is search engine optimization, and established domains. Million Short intentionally removes those sites, revealing alternative websites that Bing would never surface. And same thing with other like DuckDuckGo, Brave Search, you name it. So Million Short's unique position is that it's the only search engine It's the only search engine that removes the top million sites, focuses entirely on long tail discoveries, challenges search engine optimization dominance, intentionally disrupts ranking bias, and treats popularity as noise rather than as a signal. So it's not trying to be accurate. It's trying to make it interesting. So your search results are interesting. They're not the same popular. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. If you want popular websites, that's fine. So I just want to put it out there. I'm not condemning popularity with website. When you get a search result from Google and the popular ones are up on the top, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you need that information. But if you're someone that is doing research and you want something that's different, you have to remember what the website search results, what you get from Google search results, for example, we'll use Google as an example. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's it. There's nothing else out there. There's so many other websites out there that are just like Million Short. They're just kind of in the back burner, but Million Short is definitely something I would consider bookmarking to have. So, why does Million Short matter? Because the internet's enormous. It's huge. Billions and billions of pages, billions of creators, but most of us, we only see like a tiny fraction of it. There's so much data out there, but unfortunately search engines are only going to give you what's popular. They're not going to show you everything. Algorithms shape our digital world. They decide what we read, what we watch, what we buy, and even sometimes, unfortunately, what we believe. Million Short is a reminder that popularity doesn't equal quality. SEO, search engine optimization, doesn't equal relevance, and visibility doesn't mean equal value. By removing the top million sites, Million Short gives small creators a chance to be discovered. It gives researchers access to unfiltered perspectives, unfiltered raw data. It gives curious minds a way to explore the internet's hidden corners. There's so much out there that people just don't see it because Google, Bing, Yahoo, whatever, Brave, DuckDuckGo, they all show you what is relevant, what people want to see. But they need to see, what about those that you want to see something different? That Million Short is like an untapped resource. It shows you so much information that's out there that you just are just like, wow, I didn't know this stuff existed. So because in an era of algorithms, Million Short is a tool for breaking out of the bubble. They don't want to be part or even being considered part of Google or Bing. They're their own niche, their own search engine. But it's a good one, and I love it. I tried it. I think it's amazing. There's so much out there that I just couldn't believe. I did a search, and when I did a private search, I couldn't believe the stuff that I found. I was just like, wow. Like there's so much out there there's so much untapped resource out there for not just for journalists, for students, even for professors. Even if you're doing your thesis or you're doing your doctorate program, there's so much untapped resources out there. It's just mind-boggling. And again, I do want to reiterate one point. The information is not perfect. Again, results are messy, outdated as well, or they could just be not correct. So like with any search results, and not just Google, Bing, and Yahoo, or DuckDuckGo, or Brave, even with Million Short, the results you get, they could be outdated, they could be messy, they could even be not correct. So you have to take the results with a grain of salt, and it's not hard fact. You just have to make sure that you decipher between fact and fiction. But discovery is messy, exploration is strange, but curiosity thrives in the unexpected is definitely worth noting. On that note, just some final thoughts to consider. Again, Million Short is the search engine. Lets you remove up to 1 million search engines. So it can give you the search results that these popular search engine companies don't give you. Million Short isn't trying to replace Google. I do want to reiterate that. It just wants to remind us that the internet is bigger than a handful of sites we see every day. If you want fast, quick answers that are popular, Google is unbeatable. Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, Brave. But if you want to explore and discover and tap others unreserved information, tap unusable information, I guess is the key word, then Million Short is a treasure map. It's a treasure trove of information. You wouldn't believe the stuff I found. It's just amazing. Again, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Some of the stuff is outdated, some of it's messy, some of it's not even accurate. So you got to just kind of take it with a grain of salt. So again, Million Short, it's a great search engine for researchers, journalists, students, creators, digital explorers, or anyone who just wants to look beyond the algorithm just to see what's out there. So Million Short is rebellious against the idea that popularity equals importance. It's a celebration of the weird, the obscure, the forgotten, and the overlooked. And in a digital world that's getting bigger and bigger with algorithms and filled with algorithms, this is, it's a nice reminder that it's not overlooked, that this kind of Million Short, this kind of search engine exists. And on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in today. I highly recommend checking out Million Short. I did my own private search on it, and it was just fascinating. It was nice not to see Wikipedia. And again, nothing wrong with Wikipedia. I love Wikipedia, but it's nice to see other stuff besides the popular stuff. Highly check it out. It's worth checking out. I definitely recommend it. And also, I would like to thank everyone for tuning in today. You guys are my fans. I love you guys very much. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is at Mistress Sweet-P, I will have a Twitch. I'm also starting a Twitch podcast as well. That is in the works, but just a few bugs I have to figure out. But it's going to be Mistress, the letter N, Mayhem. Mayhem. That's coming. And I guess we will catch up soon. I hope you all have a great day, great afternoon, morning, wherever you are on this lovely planet of ours. And I will chat with you guys soon. Toodles.